where it all began. It's an unfamiliar viewing platform for Gordon Strachan, the visitors' dugout at Dens Park. Ready to get underway. Ian Bryans is in charge this evening. He was at Aberdeen Rangers at the weekend at Ibrox, and we are underway. Lee Naylor drives it forward. Evan Worrell picks up, holds on, pushes the ball forward. Sending it next to the run, headed out of play by McManus. Just trying to get things organised in front of him. Evan Worrell, a former teammate, the man alongside me, Billy Dodds, takes the throw. Zemlet not holding up, and Naylor lashes it away. It's a good header from Palanek, just up against Vennegoora Hesselink. Vennegoora Hesselink sends it forward. McDonald neatly in behind McKenzie, still going. Scott McDonald took his eye off the ball. He started well against Hibs, he looked lively there again.
Yeah, that's the problems that Dundee are going to have tonight, and it's just helped forward into that channel, and he's in behind them, and he takes his eye off it, and eventually goes for a goal kick. But it was good play from McDonald, and they're going to have to watch that all night. He'll be looking to get in behind this Dundee defence.
Header well won by Kennedy, comes down to Daquan. Daquan dispossessed by Rardon. Through to Snow, just jabs it back onto Rardon. Now Naylor, long one forward. Gary McKenzie underneath it. Safety first for Gary McKenzie. Milan Palanek alongside him this evening. Two strong players. Naylor throws it past McDonald. Palanek sends it away onto Donati. Gary Caldwell and it right back. Celtic's third right back in as many games. He's lost out to Gavin Swankie there and just pulled him back. Free kick given against Gary Caldwell.
Yeah, it's good play from Dundee, closing down there, eventually get the free kick. They're a big, tall, physical team, Dundee, and you know any set pieces they've got to take their time over it tonight, and they could cause Celtic problems in that department.
Forward by Dixon, Daquan waits for it. She'll come down to John Kennedy. Vennegoora Hesselink chases, Palanek comes in. Snow waits for it. Easily brought down by McDonald. Scott Brown's first involvement of the evening. Get past Kevin McDonald. Naylor on to Rardon. Again well defended there in Worrell. Dundee 3 points better off after 7 games in Division 1 this season than last. They sit second on 15 points. Celtic to second place. Ball not back. Vennegoora Hesselink. That's gone off Palanek. Worrell slides in. Good play, Evan Worrell. Don't want to give away the set play to Celtic.
Eventually it was, but he switched off with a thrown into Vennegoora Hesselink. But McDonald spins across and tries to lob a ball into the box, and he was a little bit lucky there, but he defended well after that.
Lee Naylor with the long throw. Daquan. I'm sure he wasn't trying to do that, but he concedes the corner kick. Trying to head it out the box, and it came off the side of his head. It's his 4th match in the CIS Cup. They've all come against the Old Firm. So Donati looking on. 3 goals this season. Rardon plays it in, goalkeeper just does enough. Craig Sampson comes out to Scott Brown. And Anderson sitting off. Caldwell looking for McDonald. Good play from McDonald. Goes to the line. Worrell with it. Ball's not out of play, and Sampson will hungrily grab that ball before it goes out.
It's good defending from McDonald. Matches him all the way. Good tackle. Just runs along the line to Craig Sampson.
Sampson has kept his place. A little bit Roy has been injured. Zemlet tries to pick up. Knocked away by McManus. McHale battling in the midfield. Good play from Kevin McDonald to come back. Trying to work it neatly. And the ball gets knocked out onto this near side. Daquan. Actually, the ball turned away. And that comes almost up to us. So Lee Naylor getting ready to take the throw. Looking for Vinegar Heslick, turned away, Swanky ahead of Brown. And a drive forward, easily picked up by Caldwell. Flag stays down. There's no room there on the far side. Paul McDonald.
Celtic applying a lot of pressure just now. A great movement, Riordan getting in there. Brown coming in off that touchline. He's not staying out there. He's the one that's going to support a lot, leaving Donati and Snow to sit. But the movement from the two strikers and Riordan, and especially Brown getting in to support him, is tremendous.
Donald and Vinegar Heston combined for a great goal on the weekend from McGiddy. Ball thrown in, Riordan with the opportunity. Falling backwards with a little touch from Derek Riordan, who's keen to seize his chance tonight.
Yeah, it's a chance, a long throw in there. Vinegar Hesling does brilliantly, knocks it on just a little bit. I think he slips, but if he gets a contact in that could go into the net.
Swanky on the far side for Dundee. Dixon on to McHale. Wants to push it through. Scott Brown is there. McHale beaten. But McDonald comes back. He will do that. He spots the problems, Kevin McDonald. Naylor goes up. Dundee fans below wanted high feet. Not given. Celtic unbeaten in the first 8 games of the season, coming into this on back-to-back losses. Vinegar Hesling concedes. Dixon deeply forward. Zemlak holds up, tries to return it. Dixon going in there. Dixon just rather putting his shoulder in there. The free kick will go against him for it. Good play, but there was certainly contact from Kennedy.
Yeah, it was silly. It was a good play from Zemlak. We say he's got to hold it in, he does. Good ball over the top. Dixon's onto it. Needless foul, just shoves him there. He was going nowhere. He was at least going to get a throw in, and he just gives away a silly free kick.
Ian Bryans blows his whistle just in front of us. Derek Riordan failed that time. Ball returned by Scott Robertson. Snow sends it out wide for Brown. Dixon gambled and lost. Brown with a step over. Keeps it in well. Caldwell, low delivery, could flick for Riordan, good save for the goalkeeper, who's first to react. Vinegar Hesling goes in, Palanek alongside him. Craig Sampson grateful to grab the ball.
Great all-in play. Brown lays it back. Caldwell, decent cross, but we said Riordan reacting, gets it there first. But what a magnificent save from Craig Sampson.
So it was nearly first blood to Celtic. After Boric, she'll get a few boos and jeers throughout the evening, that's for sure. Caldwell closed down, Gavin Swanky. Former Arbroath man, and going up against the internationals. Kenny Caldwell caught late, knocked the ball away. McDonald on to Dixon. Manus comes forward now to McDonald. Comes Derek Riordan. Riordan slides into McHale. McHale wins it. Dagwan takes the touch. You made the point about Dundee being a big physical team. They won't feel intimidated at all.
No, not at all. When you look at them, Palanek, McKenzie, Zemlak, McDonald, they've certainly plenty of height in their team, and you know they're putting it about, and they can't really get a touch of the ball just now. Celtic are keeping good possession, but you can't fault them for effort.
Freddie Dagwan dropping off. Now Donati. Switch on to Caldwell. Brown rather taken down. Play on, says the referee. Celtic happy just to play the ball back. Donati looks for Naylor. Just kicked it in. Away past Freddie Dagwan on that occasion. Team surplus to requirements at Dunfermline. Dagwan hopefully picked up here. Here comes Riordan. Gets the touch, made himself. Good bit of space. Well blocked in the end by McDonald. And it goes across. It's going to be hard for the Dundee number 9 tonight. I mean, if you don't have McManus against you, you've then got Kennedy coming up.
I was just thinking that, and Craig Wright, you know, he was saying in the studio that he's not the most mobile, but he is trying, and he's going to win a lot in the air. But his best attribute is trying to hold the ball in and let that midfield get up. But anything in the channels, he looks as if he might struggle all night.
the ball, picked up though by Dundee. Backman comes forward. McDonald. Swanky out wide, he'll play it possibly via Dixon. He does precisely that. Here's Gavin Swanky. First chance to run at Caldwell. Cuts in field, gets away from Brown. Snow fell though. The referee didn't see much wrong with it. Physical challenge was good by Snow. Now Celtic move forward. McDonald tries to get away from McHale. Warden. McDonald allowed it to run across him onto Brown. Good footwork from Brown to gather that Dundee's strong. Scott Robertson now can bring it away. Zemlet held up that time. Dixon tried to get it forward quickly onto Robertson. Just over 10 minutes gone. Celtic haven't conceded. That's good news for them. And they've lost 4 of the 10 goals this season in the opening 10 minutes. Caldwell forward. Coming in. Just drives away. Dundee will be happy with their start.
Yeah, get through the first 10 minutes. That'll be part of the team talk. You know, don't give Celtic a goal early and make them relax. And they've got through that first 10-15 minutes and they've settled into it. But Brown again causing a problem, coming in off that right hand side, and Swanky has to, you know, correspond with his midfield and make sure he's speaking to them and letting them know he's coming in, or he must track him all the way in himself.
Play on that far side. Celtic again having the possession. Snow on to Donati. It's a strong Celtic side tonight. With a good Hesselink. Can't get away from Gary McKenzie. 21-year-old, very strong at the heart of defence. From the Rangers youth. Also did a couple of appearances for the top team. Naylor with a throw. Palaniuk was holding very good a Hesselink. Swanky looks for it. Caldwell wins it. Slips it through. Very good a Hesselink tries to get the other side of Palaniuk. It's the second ball. There's an important one there for Gary McKenzie. Now let's see what the striker can do. It's 1 against 4. Good holding up play too. Delivered it on to Robertson. Swanky against Brown. Whipped the ball in. John Kennedy there. It's in once more. Picked up by Paul McHale, one of the 2 changes to the side. And Swanky can't keep it in. There's been a goal at Easter Road this evening. Clayton Donaldson has scored. And it's Hibs 1, Motherwell 0. We don't know what's happening in the other 2 matches as well. Robertson onto Waller. Oh, the angled ball into the box. Neatly knocked down. There's an opportunity here. McDonald onto Dakwan. The first danger for Celtic. Dakwan try and find the byline. Takes a deflection across. Donati not under a great deal of pressure. Actually, the challenge comes in. Ball's out of play. No knock that time for Scott Robertson.
Good play from Zemlet. Worrell floats a ball in. He knocks it down. And McDonald gambles. He just can't get there. But that's exactly what Alec Ray's looking for.
Here comes McDonald. Lays it off onto the fullback, Paul Dixon. Palaniuk beaten in the air again. Theodore Gallows. Swanky on the far side, Dixon on the overlap. Swanky trying to deliver, takes a couple of deflections. Dakwan tries to hook it in. Michael Boric happily gathers. Rangers have gone ahead against East Fife. It's Rangers 1, East Fife 0. That match being played at East End Park, matching over the goal scorer. Free kick against Jan Vinegar Hesselink.
It's a good battle that, Paul. Gary McKenzie, I'm sure he loves playing against people like Jan Vennegoor of Hesselink, just battling with him, trying to win his aerial battles as well, instead of maybe a nippy Scott McDonald.
Alec Ray only played once this season, and he's on the bench tonight, cheering on his men. He'll be happy so far. Brown On to McDonald, Snow in the midfield. Warden waits for it, takes on Warlock. Stops in ahead of it. Pushes the ball out of play. We spell in English football at Plymouth and Rotherham. Promoted and relegated with those sides. Back now on Tayside. Zemlik, battled but lost. Slow to Donati, closed down very quickly by McDonald. Slow pushes it forward. Scott Brown gets involved. Always a danger, Scott Brown. Turned away well by Mackenzie. Brown. So Donati into Snow. Donati again looks up. Colwell's made a great run down the flank. Scott Brown beautifully past McHale. McDonald's made a run, but it's played into Snow. Snow takes the touch. Eventually has to send it back. Too many touches of Snow.
McDonald was a better option there. Great run he made. Never spotted him.
Warden curls it into the box. Mackenzie up strong. Turned on by Scott Robertson. Rather wasted there by McDonald and Warlow. I don't think the fullback was expecting that to come back to him.
No, he wasn't. And Celtic having another good spell. Again, it's Brown coming in the pitch again, and he's causing a lot of problems. They don't know when to go in with him and when to leave him and pass him on to another midfielder, but he is certainly causing problems.
Naylor. Dundee fans below us wanted a foul throw for that. Angled ball from Donati offside. There's Caldwell.
I think he's on. He's at least half a yard on there, and by the time the ball gets there, that's when the assistant referee is looking at it and puts his flag up. It's a poor call.
Look again, no joy into Arthur Boric. Turned back in by McHale. Down by the captain McManus. I thought Daquan could have intercepted that. Falls for Rardon. Over the top now. What pace does Mackenzie have against McDonald? McDonald slips slightly, gets it across. Vinegar to Hesselink. Does the turn. Caldwell wants it. Caldwell plays it through. Brown's made a good run inside the box. And the ball gets knocked away.
That's the one Mackenzie doesn't want to be left with. You see there McDonald peeling onto him. He'll be happy with Hesselink playing against him all night, but as soon as Scott McDonald goes in that area, he looks as if he's turned on. He slipped here, but he nearly produced a good ball to Hesselink at the back post.
That time Scott Robertson trying to get in there against Celtic. Arthur Boric approaching 100 matches for Celtic. He's 97. It was a forgettable occasion at Easter Road. Striking. Unquestionably was always going to play up. Easily away from Gary Mackenzie. Snow's gone down, just stretching slightly. Concern for Celtic as the free kick is awarded, and the Snow just trying to run off. It looked like he was just caught accidentally off the ball.
He just takes a tumble over there. He didn't spot it, but he looks as if he maybe just gone over his ankle.
Well, John Kennedy coming over the top that time of Jan Zemlik.
Well, they're going to challenge. He's a big lad. You know, there's not much in it, but Steph's certainly climbing a little bit, and he gives a free kick. It's a great chance for Dundee. Might be their only chance tonight. Good set pieces, good delivery required.
Darren Swanky is a possibility. Scored a free kick in Division 1 against Partick Thistle in the 3-0 win, although the wall was particularly well lined up on that occasion. Arthur Boric looks on. Ian Branch has taken the wall back. Swanky looks like he's going to give the hit. 2 goals this season, 1 in this competition against Morton. The referee's unhappy that the Celtic wall isn't back a full 10 yards. Paul McHale standing on the inside. And McDonald joins the wall. Swanky goes for goal, hits the post. Gavin Swanky within inches of giving Dundee the lead.
Boric has been brilliant. Brilliant execution. Comes around the wall. Boric's no chance. Just unlucky for Dundee. Thumps off the post.
Gary Caldwell away. Dundee have the first corner. Daquan delivers. It's knocked on. It's the bar this time. Boric's came. Zemlik beat him. Comes back to Polinak. On to Daquan. Daquan. Crossover. All sorts going in that penalty box and eventually knocked away. And Celtic looking very uncomfortable.
Well, not dealing with it. Boric doesn't look happy. Comes with it. Zemlik gets in. Gets a touch off the crossbar. 2 let off for Celtic.
Well, Dundee trying to keep the pressure up. Jan Zemlik has played on the top flight in Czechoslovakia. The ball gets thrown in through the legs. Snow quite happily to knock it away. Well, Celtic survived the early scare. Here comes Rarden. McHale tried to leave that alone, but I think he got a touch on it. And the throw in from Donati, he'll be taking it for the wrong place. He has to reverse and come back. Lee Naylor to Van der Snow, who's running okay once more. Snow thinks about the shots. Well blocked by McHale. Dundee are thinking about a change. Van der Snow watches on. Might be a problem with David Worrell. Now the ball gets knocked back in field. Here comes Brown, plays it wide. On to Rarden. Rarden takes the touch. Comes on to Naylor. Naylor with a crossover. The goalkeeper happy to let that go behind. Dundee though have a problem. And David Worrell, who was at Dundee United for a couple of years, is being withdrawn. And Dundee are bringing on the nominated goalkeeper of the 5 substitutes. Danny Griffin is coming on. Can only presume it is an injury, Billy.
Yeah, of course, and 2 of my former teammates. Shame for young David Worrell, you know, first game against Celtic for a long time. He started the game well, but you know, Danny Griffin, experience coming in there, sure he'll do a good job.
He's played in a final of this competition, Danny Griffin, former St Johnstone and Dundee United player, so highly rated by Paul Sturrock. His time as manager at both. Ball gets played forward on that pass. Here comes Brown. Celtic moving forward again. McHale sliding in to deny Van der Snow. Here comes Daquan. Pretty good cup tie so far.
Yeah, it is. And Celtic not looking flown, but they've got a few good bits of movement. But Dundee have slowly but surely settled into the game, imposed their team shape on Celtic. You can see Zemlik causing problems. Just like to see them, their midfield supporting them a little bit quicker.
So the free kick one on that far side. Free kick delivered. Again, Zemlik wants to be the man in possession. Gets up there, wins the header, but can't guide it on target.
He's causing problems though, and we said free kicks, best opportunity, decent delivery. Zemlik flicks it on, just can't get enough on it to keep it down.
Well, Danny Griffin's first involvement is to take down Derek Rarden. Here comes Scott Brown for Celtic. Pushing the ball back in field. Donati wants to pick up. Gets played back across. Ball on the angle. On to Naylor. Naylor with a decent ball across. Picked up by McDonald. It does Zenwick again. 6'6", big, tall, powerful player. Infield again to McDonald. Griffin away. Not started too well, Danny Griffin. Here come Dundee. Swanky. Brown goes in, makes the challenge. Gary Cornwell thumps it away. Picked up by Paul McHale, the 25-year-old from Stirling. Looks up, tries to thread it through. Zenwick looks, sees what his options are. Comes to Daquan. Daquan, that's a good crossover. A little bit unfortunate. Just going to wrap his feet right round.
But it's positive. Goes on the outside. It's a good cross. Hung up to the back post, but he just can't get his foot round it, Paul, as you said, and it lands on top of the net. But good play from Dundee.
Well, that's going to go against Dundee on that occasion. And then Palmer out there on that far side. Scott McDonald picks himself up. They play AC Milan next week, just Milan Palmer to worry about this week. Penalty forward, but McManus too comes forward. John Kennedy as well. Derek Riordan plays it across. McDonald! It's a goal from a set piece for Celtic, and Scott McDonald hits Celtic ahead.
It's too easy. Smallest man in the pitch. Brilliant delivery, brilliant header by McDonald. No chance for Sampson.
In the land of giants in the box, Scott McDonald snuck in through the undergrowth and has headed Celtic ahead. It was as simple as it looked. Good header though.
Yeah, it was. It's a great delivery from Riordan. He just drifts off his man though. I think it's Griffin just on the pitch, drops him. Great header, powerful. Flies past Sampson to the right hand side.
Scott McDonald, who scored just one goal in this competition for Motherwell, gets his first for Celtic on his debut in the competition for the Hoops. And Alex Ray will be absolutely furious.
Dundee's best spell. I was just going to say they were starting to pick up a lot of second ball in the middle of the park. Finding Daquan on the right, Swanky on the left, but you know they give away a silly free kick and they're punished. But great header and a great delivery from Riordan.
Long ball played forward, dealt with again by Gary McKenzie. Dundee have scored in every game they've played in this season. They have to get a goal. Celtic has scored, and Strachan was reminded this week they've got a poor run of conceding away from home as the flag goes up. Gordon Strachan basically saying, well, we win titles, we win trophies, I'm not too concerned about not keeping a clean sheet as long as we're scoring.
He's got a point.
That was the way to do it. Alec Ray, well, I enjoyed playing against Celtic as a player. While watching on as a manager, it's certainly not so enjoyable. Caldwell across. That was a poor one. Young came across and the referee books it. The elbow was up from the striker. Whether he meant it or not is debatable. Let's have a look.
Oh, it was dangerous. Wasn't even looking at the ball. Naylor's totally committed. Header's clear. Zenwick just tries to take him out. Luckily he missed.
29-year-old from the Czech Republic. A little shake of the head. One goal for Dundee so far. Came against Morton in this competition so far. And he's the guy to head up onto the bar. Dundee to hit the post from Swanky's free kick. Swanky, referee deciding that was a free kick. Zenwick takes up position just at the edge of the box. Dixon delivers. When you get a Hislop, heads it out wide, comes on to Daquan. That one pulls the ball back again. That's a decent ball across. This could be the equaliser. Brilliant from Boric. Absolutely brilliant. McDonald's crossover was met by McKenzie. Artur Boric back to his best.
Oh, he's looked shaky so far in this game, but that's simply magnificent. It's goal bound. It's got power behind it. What a save. Strong hand by Boric.
And again come Dundee. Ball flicked down. Celtic through getting Caldwell. That's the direct route. The home fans certainly encouraged with what they're seeing. Throw in once more. Handed away. A little bit of camping in at the moment. And some organisation for the Celtic captain to do.
He's got to keep doing it. They've got joy off it so far. Keep putting them under pressure by the aerial route.
Decent throw in. There's Snow having to knock it away. Comes back onto Griffin. Griffin in again. Was blocked. Good play again from McDonald. And again take his side with the throw. Young player of the month in August in the Edinburgh Leagues. Kevin McDonald. Dundee trying to find a way through, but Celtic strong. Latched away, no chance for the goal scorer. A busy night so far, but Artur Boric, decent cross in, strong header, and Boric, good hand to get it away.
Absolutely brilliant. You know, he's been struggling so far, looked a little bit shaky, a little bit nervous, but what a save that was.
And Dundee come forward, it's going to be a corner kick. They've swept forward very quickly. McManus out to make the challenge. Daquan has provided quite a few problems coming down this right flank.
Yeah, he has, and you know the crossing's been good so far in this match also, and that's why they've really had a lot of joy off it. Just can't get that final touch.
Swanky, the low corner. Donati easily away. Griffin. Headed away, taken down. That's a lovely piece of play from Robertson. McKenzie went in there again. Celtic try and break. Donati. McHale trying to hold him up. Onto Rardon, closed down by Griffin. Donati away from McHale. Dumped down, but play on, says the referee. Great ball from Rardon onto McDonald. Celtic flowing. McDonald plays it across. Palanik gets it away. Daquan thinks we're taking on Naylor. Beats Lee Naylor, who recovers. Daquan back onto McDonald. Semlick can't hold up that time. McManus and Kennedy. The starting partnership at the back for Celtic this season. Palanik onto McKenzie. Caught late by McDonald. Play on. Now Gavin Swanky trying to get away from Snow. Trying to accelerate. Alexander Snow goes in with a challenge. Good play again from Gavin Swanky.
Yeah, they really have given good width. That is a clear free kick. Swanky on the left, Daquan on the right. A couple of good crosses also, and they're causing Celtic problems. If they can concentrate and get cross in the box, I'm sure we can get something out of it.
Dundee pack the penalty box. Palanik is up there, join his countryman Zemlick. Ball whipped in, Celtic get away through Donati. McDonald rather took that away from Robertson, but won it well. Goes in again, beats three. Can he find a place to pull the trigger? He couldn't do so. Celtic move quickly now. Lee Naylor on to Rardon. Naylor in support. Vennegoor Hesselink through the middle. Daquan back. Naylor looked to be taken out. Play on, says the referee. And Griffin back on to Craig Sampson. It's not quite what you're supposed to do. Snow on to Caldwell. They have retreated back behind the ball. Snow plays it in. Vennegoor Hesselink waits for it. Just a little bit of pushing there. It's worried by the referee. 1-10 on the other. Vennegoor Hesselink on McHale.
It's a good cup title, one end to the other. You know, McDonald at the edge of the box, beaten free, tried a little meg, and then going to the other end, and unlucky by Hesselink.
And there's been some good chances as well. Gavin Swanky thumping the post. Boric looked to be beaten. Then Zemlick managed to win the head ahead of Boric, and well headed away. And what about this for a save? McKenzie with a header, Boric across. Good strong hand to get it away. Plenty of action at Dens Park. A little stumble, but that was only after he was pushed. Donati trying to protest his innocence. Lee Naylor going in there. Well, Naylor took him down. Donati tried to intercede. Free kick awarded.
Yeah, no contact in the ball. Definite foul. Again, good play by Dakwan. Positive play on the right hand side.
Under 10 minutes to half time. Dixon swings it in. Celtic get it away. McHale sends it out wide, although Robertson has to reverse. Oh, that's beautiful by Robertson. Beats three, taken down. Young, very good a Hesselink from the manual, tackling for forwards. Gets a yellow card.
Yeah, it's a typical striker's tackle. And, you know, he's got no option. It is a poor tackle, but great play from young Robertson, driving forward there. When he picks up the ball and goes past a couple of players, and Hesselink's not even looking at him. That's why he clatters into him and gives away the free kick.
I do appreciate that there's players right through the four divisions who play up front and can tackle, but I think they're the exceptions to the rule. And very good a Hesselink, the first Celtic player yellow carded this evening. It's not too dissimilar from the distance from which Gavin Swankie had a go before. If at first you don't succeed. We've all been told to hold back. Ian Bryans and the Celtic wall just disagreeing on the 10 yards. Swankie goes for goal again. Boric with a wonderful hand up. Gavin Swankie, well, who needs Nakamura on the field when you have Gavin Swankie?
Oh, that's great execution from Swankie again. Goes to the other side this time. Boric, it's comfortable height, but it's a good strong hand again.
All the Dundee fans just behind Gavin Swankie and below us, giving up a big reception as he delivers the ball over. Again the ball heading goalwards, again by Mackenzie. Dakwan comes across, didn't pick up a deflection, just shot wide that time by the Frenchman. But Dundee are giving as good as they get.
Showing a lot of confidence after going a goal down. They lost the goal slightly against the run of play, but since then 2 or 3 chances. Swankie here again, either side, great connection, going to Boric's left hand side, but he brings his right arm across. A great save.
Griffin hooks the ball away, and out of play it comes just below us. A breathing space for Lee Naylor. 4 of Celtic's last 6 wins at Dens Park have been by a single goal. They lead by 1-0. Naylor forward. Mackenzie back, could break Celtic's way. Good effort, Scott Brown. On his left foot, Scott Brown, not the preferred side. And Craig Sampson makes the save.
Yeah, ball into the box. Mackenzie heads it down, but McDonald coming in that pitch again. Gets a good strike, but Sampson equal to it again, and he holds on to it well.
Kennedy stands firm into the way of Rardon. Away from McDonald, and it's picked up. Battling away is Robertson. Robertson still going. Good play by Robertson. McDonald backing him up. Onto Dakwan. Good play again. Dakwan has to give the ball back. Is Danny Griffin. Flicks it through. McDonald had made a good run. And again, Celtic cleared Donati. Battling very good at Hesselink and Mackenzie. Flicked on by McHale. One again. Here comes Robertson. Robertson looking to drive forward, trying to get away from Snow. Celtic pick up. Robin Strachan continues to prowl the touchline on the far side. Donati. Good ball, turned away. Celtic lost it last week against Shakhtar Donetsk. They lost against Hibs on Sunday. At neither point in any of those matches did they have the lead. They have it here. And they're trying to attack once more. Griffin up against Rardon. Rardon pulls it across. Easily behind in the end. Craig Sampson not happy at all with some of the protection he's getting down that right hand side.
Yeah, Celtic a lot of joy on the left hand side, but not producing any decent crosses so far. Really impressed by the Dundee midfield. McDonald and Robertson so tenacious in there. McHale just sits in front of the back four and just patrols everything, and lets those two just go and get in about it, and they really are doing well midfield and getting a lot of second balls, and they're getting it wide and getting at Celtic.
McDonald, who you saw there, was a subject of a bid by Celtic. Offered £75,000. He elected to stay here at Dens. No first team opportunities. It was as simple as that. Rarden gets it forward. And Sampson comes out and gathers. He's taking his chance to establish himself, Craig Sampson. Club captain Ludovic Roy is injured. You had Craig Sampson at Dundee United.
Yeah, I did. I planned to play him in the only game in charge. Derek Stilley called off with a flu bug the morning of the game, and he came in and he did a really good job. And we went on to beat Falkirk 2-1. Good goalkeeper.
Again, Dundee spiraling the ball forward, knocked away by Kennedy. Swanky again goes to try and close down. Caldwell away. Space for Dixon to come forward, pings it across just a little too early. Dundee simply not set. And a little lack of thought there from Derek Rarden.
He's got to keep it easy for the next couple of passes. It's the last two or three did it wrong. It's just affecting his confidence a little bit, but you know, he's a good player and he just has to keep the next two or three passes simple.
Can't get on the end of that one. And Arthur Boric, well, much maligned at the weekend. There were two absolute howlers. But he's been on top form again tonight. Dixon intercepts, pushes it forward. Swanky takes the touch to go behind Brown. John Kennedy across. Again, nice ball. Robertson gets it through. It's to McDonald once more. McDonald, beautifully done. Here comes Swanky. Angle ball, just too far. 2.5 minutes to go in the first half. If it stays this way, Billy Dodds, Alec Ray Wakefield, a little aggrieved perhaps?
Yeah, they've certainly had their chances so far in this first half, but you know, 1-0 down, you're always going to get chances. I think they'll keep it like this well into the second half. Maybe 15-20 minutes to go, you might think about pushing Paul McHale into midfield and letting one of the midfield four push forward and really go for it.
Very back on, leads it inside onto Kevin McDonald. Very composed player for 18 years old. Gets the ball back from Dixon, holds up, turns his man. Good strength as well, another little touch. Holds off Kennedy, he's holding off Celtic players for fun down there. The referee eventually decides to help him out with a free kick. Evander Snow not letting him pass.
Well, you can see why there are a lot of clubs after him. You know, he's strong, getting tackles in on him there, just strong, hold him off, still wants the ball, turning there and eventually draws a free kick.
He's an under-19 internationalist. And if he continues his progress, he will go all the way. Gavin Swanky stands over the ball, he's troubled twice. Struck the post, a great save from Arthur Boric. Third time, and the wall does its job. Daquan gets it in, ball breaks across, the opportunity came. Palanek trying to get there, Swanky ahead of Snow. Snow's challenge looked a little ill-advised. Swanky again puts it across, Palanek just off the back of the neck, I think.
Well, they really are getting some decent crosses in, as we were saying, and again Swanky delivers. Zemlik gets there, he just can't get it down again, but certainly all over the first half, you know, they've had numerous aerial balls into the box and he just can't get a decent header on goal.
It's been a good cup tie so far. Both sides have met twice in the final of this competition, and the losing in 1967, winning in 73. That side still very much revered around here. But Dundee have won none of the 5 League Cup meetings between the sides since. As Gary Caldwell is adjudged to have been persistent fouling, because the foul in itself didn't look too much.
it can only be persistent, because that's never a booking. You know, he's turned his back on him, and there's not much in it. He's trying to get out the road, and he just runs into the back of him, Swanky. But referee said it's persistent,
and lip readers everywhere would have been offended. Swanky again delivers the ball into the box. Boric comes, didn't gather it. Opportunity breaks. Oh, no luck that time for Kevin McDonald.
Well, they're pushing. It's another good ball. Boric's got to come through bodies. Doesn't get a great punch on it. Snow does well though. You know, McDonald's onto it. Snow bails out his goalkeeper there, and he just blasts it over the crossbar.
Be interesting to see what the guys in the studio have made of it, but it's been, I think, a very entertaining cup time.
Yeah, I think so. Celtic get their goal, probably when Dundee are showing that they've got through the first 15-20 minutes, and then Celtic go and score. But Dundee's reaction since then has been fantastic.
Bring you up to date with all the scores from around Scotland and the other matches in the CIS Insurance Cup at half time. Wins last night for Hamilton. It's a great win over Kilmarnock, Dundee United, Inverness Celtic, and Hearts all through to the quarter-finals. Dundee find an equaliser just before half-time. Donati picks up. The stoppage time is come and gone. Arthur Boric has been the busier keeper, but he's pleased the fans behind his goal. Scott McDonald with the only goal of the first half, a header from a set play. But Gavin Swanky's come so close for Dundee. Been a bit of magic from the free kicks. This was the first one just striking the post. Another one off the bar, that came in from Jan Zemlik. Alec Ray can't quite believe it. He won't believe this either. A poor piece of marking, but a great header from Scott McDonald. All the power in the world to beat Craig Sampson. That's why he celebrates. But Gary McKenzie tried to equalise, and Arthur Boric strong with the hand of Anders Snow away. Plenty of incident, plenty of action at Dens Park. Half time, Dundee 0, Celtic 1.
And a thoroughly entertaining.
The last 19 home matches against Celtic, 6 draws, they've lost 13. Celtic have now scored on their last 19 visits to Dens Park. They're hard to keep at bay. Dundee have trailed twice at half-time this season. They lost in the League Challenge Cup against Ross County, but they beat Clyde in a match in Division 1. Dundee unchanged at the start of the second half. Celtic emerged from those Dens Park steps. And Gordon Strachan, I think, as the guys will say, will be asking his side just to defend a little bit better to start with, Billy.
Yeah, exactly. But percentage-wise, you would think if Dundee keep on putting high balls in the box, long throw-ins from Danny Griffin, just get the ball in there, you would think that something's going to drop for Dundee. Celtic could defend better, but just because they've got the likes of Zemlik, McDonald, Dakwan, Palaniuk, McKenzie in there is going to cause any team problems, Paul.
And Zemlik, Tiskoma Zin, you may not have heard of them, but they are the Czech Premier League side, and finished 13th last term. 5 goals in 30 matches for the Dundee number 9. This is 8th match for the Dark Blues. And we'll get underway with Dundee requiring to find a way past Arthur Boric. Who's going to be called out, Celtic's right full-back this evening. Picked up by the impressive McDonald. Michael Dixon. Here's the shout from the crowd below, getting away from McDonald. Dixon again. Swanky knocks it across. McDonald rumbles down this left-hand side. The ball across wasn't a great one. Unfortunately, he almost come back to him. There's McDonald. Snow with a flick onto Lee Naylor. Picked up again by Snow, closed down by Robertson. Great support from the home fans. Really getting behind their side. Battling on. Possible free kick. Zemlik can't get there in the end. Again, good persistent play from Scott Robertson, one of the local lads. Scott McDonald. Another wasted ball to Gary Caldwell. Steps inside Dixon. Dixon goes again. There's almost enough. Celtic hold on. Caldwell through to McDonald. McKenzie in. McHale knocks up. There's Zemlik there. Headed back that time by McDonald. Palaniuk made sure. On to Dakwa. Derek Rarden, who started well but rather faded, trying to get involved. Headed out of play, that'll be a throw in. And it came off Gary McKenzie. Scott McDonald been very, very lively so far.
He just looks as if he's enjoying the game now. You know, Craig Levine was talking about it at half time. The fear factor's gone. Let's play.
Yeah, it's up for grabs. Palaniuk looked a little uncomfortable. The referee decides there was a free kick to be had. A little bit uncomfortable that time, Milan Palaniuk.
Yeah, so long ball into the box. He doesn't deal with it. He goes with his feet rather than go and attack it with his head. And it was a strange decision, to say the least.
He's only 6'4".
Go with your feet.
Sampson away. Zemlik tries to knock it on. Donati. On to Gary Caldwell. Scott Brown again. Comes infield. It's another good pass. Snow to Brown. Dundee have conceded 3 goals in the second half all season. They've all come in the first 5 minutes of the second half. There's Rarden, knocks it across. Good touch away, Palaniuk. And they have to keep their concentration. Forward again. And Zemlik certainly battling away with John Kennedy. Donati. To Kennedy again. Great chance this evening for John Kennedy to play his way into Gordon Strachan's plans overall, and he started as the first choice centre back this term.
Yeah, I think maybe Gordon just thinks he might have rushed him a little bit, and it's nice to give him a little bit of time out again, get him back to peak fitness and put him in a game like this, and he's did okay tonight. It's nice to see him back.
He's been worked hard too. Here comes Dixon. Knocks it off for Gavin Swanky. Swanky moving forward, Caldwell up alongside him. Again the cross in this is taken by Artur Boric. Palaniuk reads it on to Dixon. His first team debut by Jim Duffy. And he was manager here. Donati, well, arguably the ball was out of play. Paul Dixon was beaten here and eventually decided to clip his heels.
It's a delayed reaction, wasn't it? It was a little bit of skill, didn't come off, and decides to go down and get the free kick.
Vinegar and Heslick on to Snow. For the double Dutch from Celtic. Snow. Well, Evander Snow, just 1 goal in his Celtic career, came against Hibs last November. But well wide that time. Gordon Strachan's face, I think, reflecting the nature of the shot.
A little bit ambitious to say the least, but you know, sometimes you don't try them, you know, sometimes they fly in the top corner.
Snow battles with Zemlik. Little flick forward again, but all the way through for Dundee. Scott Brown. To Donati. Benagura Hesselink comes short. But again, good hassling from Dundee. They're not prepared to surrender possession to Celtic.
Yeah, it's that midfield again, tenacious in and about it, giving Celtic no room. They know that the game could be won and lost in there, and they're certainly at least, you know, holding their own tonight.
Well, I watched the match at Tynecastle last night for Radio Scotland. Hearts against Dunfermline. Hearts with plenty of possession, and they had the lead, couldn't find the second goal, and Dunfermline equalised 7 minutes from time. The SPL sides have not had it easy. Now moving forward, great run from Rarden. Rarden goes in, he's tumbled. Penalty kick is awarded. It's a soft one, but it's a nightmare for Danny Griffin. He seemed to stumble into Derek Rarden, and the penalty kick awarded by referee Ian Bryans.
He just gets caught wrong side. It's Brown again who starts it. He goes inside, he holds the ball up. Rarden takes off him. You can see there, he's clipped. It's a definite penalty. Danny Griffin wrong side.
I wonder if Danny Griffin clipped himself, and that's why he went onto Derek Rarden. Didn't look like a particularly heavy challenge from here, but it was a penalty, and Derek Rarden prepares to step forward. 1 goal this season. It came against St Mirren. Craig Sampson, a hero, saved 2 penalty kicks in the shootout in the last round against Livingston, one to keep Dundee in the competition. This has a similar effect. Derek Rarden steps up. Good save, Craig Sampson! He's done it again!
Magnificent save. Guessed the right way. He thinks it's under him, he looks round. But he grabs it at the second attempt. It's a good strong hand down to his left hand side. And he gets lucky, the ball sitting there. Great save, penalty specialist.
Rightfully grabbed by Craig Sampson. Now can Dundee take heart from this? Swanky out wide onto Daquan. Daquan driving for the line, cuts it across. Swanky comes in, almost got ahead of Boric. Just couldn't get enough on it. There was an ill-advised challenge that time by Gary McKenzie, sliding into the back of Vinegar Hesselink. Naylor now under pressure, and he's gifted it away. McDonald forward, holding up. Daquan outside him. 2 in the box for Dundee. Played across, good diving header away. Good time by McManus. Celtic holding on well, battling on. Robertson goes in with McDonald. Eventually Rarden sends it away. Derek Rarden started the match well. That's just culminated. He won the penalty, but sometimes when the person who wins the penalty isn't necessarily the best person to take it.
Shouldn't ask me that. When I won them, I took them, Paul. So, and he stepped up and he stuck it quite well. You've got to give the goalkeeper credit there. You know, he's kept it low. It's hard for a goalkeeper to get down there and hold on to it. And Craig Sampson did exactly that.
You'll see from the graphic, Gary McKenzie was booked for complaining about the penalty award. Ian Bryan's taking nothing in terms of the top back. So Dundee have survived. Sampson with the penalty save. So Dundee with a free kick. Trying to drive the ball in. High ball. Boric comes for it. Oh, slaps the punch. Breaks out wide for Gavin Swanky. Closed down immediately. Nowhere to go here. Trying on the corner. He did so. That's the best he could do, and he did his best.
So 3 crosses to come for tonight, Boric, and he's not really handling, but he's so confident. He just keeps coming, and he's got lucky there again. It's not a strong punch away, but it breaks, and it's good defending eventually from Celtic.
Another corner. The goalkeeper holds on to it. He's under more danger than his own man that time. And a tempered throw onto Rarden. Here's a point to prove now. Vinegar Hesselink. Donati strokes it forward. The offside flag is already up. Liam Conker just below us, putting the flag up. Celtic, I mean, they do that so well. They break so quickly.
Yeah, it was close. Just a half a yard there, but it's a good run. Midfield again. It's Brown getting forward. It's done that all game so far, from out to in, and it causes the Dundee midfield and defence a lot of problems. But Dundee defence, they've defended well tonight. You know, apart from maybe the penalty, Danny Griffin since come on switched off for the penalty and the goal, but overall they've defended quite well.
Naylor having to defend. Daquan behind him. Naylor, that came off him. He will appeal for the corner kick. That was more out of confidence trick than anything else. You could see from here that that was a corner. Celtic just a little rattled. The teams drew 2 apiece here in the last meeting at Dens Park, and these sides were last in the SPL. And looking for an equaliser. Zemlak breaks outside the box onto McDonald, closed down by Snow, brushed away by Donati. Daquan tried to come back to help Brown, beautifully off to Snow. Snow onto the near side to Caldwell. Cute and comfortable from Celtic so far. Ball played forward and knocked away by Scott Robertson, who was back covering.
That's great defending, because counter-attack from Celtic was magnificent. There are 3 or 4 players involved. Eventually played into McDonald, but midfielder Robertson covering up there.
Cracking cup tie so far. Caldwell can't get it past Dixon. Headed on. Dixon will try and get it away. It's a poor one. It came with a Vinegar Hesselink. Poor clearance, poor shot, poor all round.
Yeah, it was. Took the words out of my mouth. You know, he rushed his clearance, breaks to Hesselink. Could maybe take a touch here, lay it back, but he decides to hurry the shot and just drags it wide. It is a poor effort.
Paul Dixon, just 20 years old. He's been with Dundee since he was 12. And He's pretty good at left full back. So lashes it forward. McDonald under control with a hand. We're just saying cut that out. It's a free kick to Dundee.
It's given them a lift. The penalty miss, hasn't it? You expect it to. You know, it probably would have been game over. But it's given Dundee a lift and they're still well in this tie.
So tries to win the header, the ball put down. Miller away, but the referee has decided the hand was round the back from John Kennedy. And it's another free kick and it's another chance for Gavin Swankie.
So hard to defend. Zemlik backing in. Kennedy just standing his ground, but the referee sees it as a free kick and it's another dangerous position. We all know what Swankie can do.
They really are one of the hard decisions for referees to get right. Ian Brown's up with play, penalising John Kennedy on that occasion. And the spotlight again shining on the man in yellow. It would be the biggest surprise around Beds Park tonight if Kevin Swankie doesn't hit this. Paul Dixon standing across to his right hand side. Number 11 comes up, strikes, goes for goal, Bullets! That's the pick of the bunch.
Yeah, it is, because he sees it so late. He's come right through the wall. There you go, great strike, right through the wall, sees it late. What a save.
A cowboy builder couldn't have put up a worse wall than that. And Swankie almost made the best of it.
Yeah, they certainly weren't helping him.
I think you'll find the wall is supposed to block the ball. Ball knocked across, McKenzie looking for it again, Celtic under pressure once more. Celtic are rocking. They're refusing to be turned over. John Kennedy with a header away.
Just get such height, Paul, every time you get a free kick or a corner or a long throw, and it just causes problems.
Billy Daquan played against Celtic in the final for Dunfermline 2 years ago. Flicks the ball in, Boris missed it that time, it was flicked on. McKenzie may have got the touch. Now Celtic away quickly through snow, and Danny Griffin flicks the ball into the old enclosure here at Dens Park.
It's been a mixed bag, hasn't it? Shot stopping, absolutely sublime. Cross balls, I think he's being filled there. There's an arm up, it's all across him, but he's still got to make sure he tries to get something on the ball and he misses it and they get lucky.
Palanicki was in, McKenzie just in behind Arthur Boric. 8,203 inside Dens Park. Well over 9,000 tickets sold for the match. There's Caldwell, tries to get it past Dixon, does so. On to Brown. Brown and Caldwell combined at the weekend for a goal. Brown pushes it across. Miller pings it in, Panic away. Brought down by McHale. Oh, that's a poor piece of play. Given away to Rardon. Killen wanted Donati to make the run, the Italian obliged. It's past one, can't get past Dixon. Caldwell slips it down, McDonald is onside, McDonald pulls it across, should be two! Jan Vennegoor-Hesselink scores for Celtic. The front two were great at the weekend, they've been good again tonight. McDonald supplies, Vennegoor-Hesselink, 2-0.
Brilliant all round, great ball from Gary Caldwell. Little reverse pass, frees McDonald, who's pulled off. He could have been greedy, he squares it. Hesselink gets a great contact. Game over.
Well, it's hard for Dundee now. Onside Scott McDonald, no doubt about that. From 12 yards out, the finish. Ball banged into the ground from Vennegoor-Hesselink.
It's just all round good play, and it's bouncing in front of him. He has to make sure he gets a contact. He certainly does, and it's a great finish.
He scored for Celtic in the league, scored for Celtic in Europe, he scored for Celtic in the Scottish Cup. He now completes it by scoring in the CIS Insurance Cup for the first time. Scoreline Dundee 0, Celtic 2. As the ball gets played away, I mean, it could be any scoreline, it could be 3-2 by now, 3-3 even.
Well, especially now Dundee have to open up and they have to get somebody else up front alongside Zemlik. And that was the danger, they lose another goal, they have to open up. They've got to think about it now though, if they're going to get back in this match.
Here comes Naylor driving forward. Celtic have their eye on the quarter-final, they've got 1 foot in it as well. Naylor, nice piece of play, trying to get away from McKenzie, and there's going to be a corner kick. Celtic's second of the match. John Kennedy arriving. Number 41. And his fourth CIS Insurance Cup tie for Celtic. Warden swings it in. Headed up by McKenzie. Ball could break down for Kennedy. That's a nice first touch. And if his second touch had been there, it was 3-0.
Would have been great for the big man to get a goal on his return. Does brilliantly, just lips over two players, but sails centre half syndrome, panic. He gets a good contact, but sails it miles over the bar.
Well, you can see more football on the BBC this evening. The SPL highlights from the weekend tonight, 10 o'clock on BBC 2 Scotland. It is all action, and you can see all the action online. SPL highlights from Sundays at 6 o'clock. Just click on bbc.co.uk/sportscene. The action is there. Caldwell pushes it forward. McCann goes down. The ball just knocked out of play. Palanek away. So Celtic 2-0 up on the hour mark. Dundee have to try and find reserves. Alex Ray may have to shuffle things, as Billy Dodd says. Caldwell eventually. Dixon knocks it down, falls for Snow. Snow tries to drag the ball back. He's well covered, then launches an arm across. That's a free kick. The referee's absolutely right. Evander Snow can complain. He'll talk his way into the referee's book. You simply cannot stick your arm out like that.
I think it's harsh.
No way.
I think it's a man's game. He's got to get across him. He's still the ball. He's favourite to get to the ball. And, he's just trying to get across him. And that's a soft one for me, Paul.
That's a typical forward for me, Billy Dodds, as well. Ball gets stopped back onto McManus. I'll stick up for the Defenders Union tonight. Ball forward and over the top. McDonald's onside. He's made a good run. McKenzie going back with him. McDonald in there again, but McKenzie being the beneficiary of the touchback. Donati. Interesting now too for Gordon Strachan in terms of what he does. Does he look to change things, rest a couple of players? I mean, they've got a game the weekend, I think it's Dundee United that they play. They play AC Milan next midweek. Vinegar Hessling maybe one of those looking for a rest. Beautifully done by Vinegar Hessling. Dixon back, makes the challenge.
It's good play by Hessling. Understand what you're saying, but I think he might just delay it a little bit. Maybe wait till 15-10 minutes from then, just to make sure the game is out of sight. If they score, then it could be a different game. So I think he'll delay that substitution.
It's been an eventful second half for Derek Warden. He's missed the penalty. So his side take a 2-0 lead. Warden drives it deep, headed back across. Easily put away by Dundee that time. Snow. On to Brown. Brown flicks it forward. Vinegar Hessling goes up. McKenzie wins the header. Robertson gets the next ball on. Dunlop comes in. Just touched away by Robertson. That should be offside. We are right in line with that. And Gavin Swanky was a yard offside.
Yeah, it just goes a little bit early. He's trying to bend his run right across the centre line, just take his time and get there, but it just goes that fraction early and he is offside.
You can keep up to date with all the results and the scores and the scorers Saturday afternoon, 4:30 on BBC 1 Scotland. All the results as they come in. Brown, again good footwork from Brown, drives it infield. McDonald is there. Not been so easy for McDonald and Robertson in the second half. And it's down to Kennedy. To Lee Naylor. Push through, and that should be picked up well, and it is. Driving play once more from Robertson. To the near side, Gavin Swanky. Players in the box to aim for. And he'll get a corner kick. Gary Corwell tracking back. Gary Corwell showed his versatility for Celtic, just slotting it right back tonight.
Yeah, I like him better in that position. I just think he doesn't have to attack balls as much. He just does his defensive job and he's good in the ball.
Swanky sends it deep. That's the definition of too deep. And Snow just happy to let the ball go out of play. Evander Snow, unhappy memories. Last term missed the penalty that eventually led to Celtic being knocked out by Falkirk in the quarter-finals. Happier memories tonight though, in the making. Throw the ball out of play on that far side. Rowden can't get there. Backhand on the end of it for Dundee. Battles with Naylor. Touched out of play. Came off the Frenchman's leg. He can complain all he likes in whatever language he likes. It's a throw into Celtic. As far as Lee Naylor. Infield to Donati. Gary Caldwell has Brown ahead of it. Well, I'm watching the Dundee bench at the moment as play rages to see if they are going to make a change. They're certainly thinking about it. The three subs warming up. Jan Zemlik needs some help upfield. Pushed forward by Celtic again. Here's McDonald. Dundee have to make a difference before Celtic score again. They're trying to at the moment. McDonald closed down well. Time again by McDonald. Dundee flipped in. Gary McKenzie away. Difficult for Griffin on that far side. Rardon gives it right back to him. Well, two all strong players tussling for the ball. It goes against McManus. And the free kick taken quickly, but the referee says from the wrong place. The ball was moving. Let's just bring it back, and Steve McManus has a word for the man in blue.
There's a handful. There's not much in it again. A little grip of his jersey. There's a free kick, but it's a good battle that all night. McManus against Zemlik and also Kennedy. And, you know, Zemlik did well, but the two centre-halves have handled them quite well.
Paul Dixon with a chance to come forward now. Plays it in. Again looking for it. That's nodded away and behind. Celtic under pressure again. That's the big centre forward causing the problems. Only one goal for Dundee. I've mentioned that. I'm slightly surprised. It looks like he would do pretty well in the first division.
If your handballs up there, you think he'd get more goals.
Angle ball, Gary McKenzie looking for it. Turned away by Caldwell. McDonald brings it down, goes past Snow. Just flicked it off him, but the referee has awarded the free kick for the challenge of Evander Snow. I'm not sure that Ian Bryans is Evander Snow's favourite referee.
He's feeling hard done by. It's a soft one again, but it gives Dundee that chance to show where they've caused Celtic problems all night.
Arthur Boric has had some important saves to make tonight. Gavin Swankie. Will he try and curl it in? Will he go for goal? It's a rather low trajectory. Turn back. Here's Paul McHale. McHale flicks it over the top. The flag had stayed down and Gary Caldwell got it away. Palaniuk was right in behind him.
Swankie takes the wrong choice here. You know, they're causing Celtic problems all night. He drives in a free kick. McHale does the right thing, just loops it back in, and again they get a corner.
And they have scored in every game this season. Dixon in the head of the goalkeeper. Played across McKenzie with a header. Gary Caldwell away, closed down by Dixon. Ball's not out of play. I'll tell you what, the referee had already gone for the goal kick. I think he thought it was running out as well. Credit to Dundee for keep on going.
Great tackle again, though. Not giving up.
Paul Dixon stands over it. Big long throw. Boric tries to punch it away. Should break down, and it is a goal for Kevin McDonald. Arthur Boric, there was too much traffic in front of him. It broke free to Kevin McDonald, and the 18-year-old scores for the third time this season, and Dundee are back in the match.
He's not looked comfortable all night. He comes again. We said he was still confident. He misses it. One man who deserves a goal, Kevin McDonald, just tucks it in there. There he goes. Doesn't get a good punch on it again. Comes to McDonald, slots in the net. I said game over, but you know, this goal opens it wide up.
Well, it's a fortunate touch perhaps onto Gary McKenzie. was challenging. McKenzie was waiting for it. It was his central defensive partner Palaniuk who was there, and then it was nicked into the net by Kevin McDonald. It's been a tough few days for Arthur Boric.
Can't complain about his shot stopping tonight, but really you can see he's shaky coming for crosses, and he's not connected with a punch all night, and eventually it costs him a goal.
It's a memorable one though for Kevin McDonald. The side that tried to sign him is the side that's on the receiving end of his goal. Celtic captain has to play it back to Arthur Boric. And they have won 4 of the 8 meetings between these sides on this surface in this competition. And the long ball gets played forward. McDonald makes the run. Craig Sampson out. Well, that penalty save is looming large for Celtic. To be fair, Celtic did then go 2-0 up, but Dundee battling back into the match. Here comes Brown. And the ball from Gary Caldwell. That's a good one onto Rardon, the first touch. Great goal from Derek Rardon that time. So the goal from Kevin McDonald is the first in over 3.5 CIS matches within the 90 minutes that Celtic have conceded. They lost a goal in extra time last season against Falkirk. But Kevin McDonald breaks them down. McManus fires it away. And Gordon Strachan, who may well have been thinking, as I was, perhaps giving 1 or 2 players a rest, has to change his thinking altogether.
Well, no chance now, he just shut up shop. I'm sure Dundee were thinking of a change also and going 4-4-2, but now they're right back in it. You know they'll get a chance before the end of this match.
Robertson comes through, past Donati, sends it out wide onto Swanky. Dixon supports on the overlap. Dundee are going for it. Swanky cuts in field, plays it across. Chance for Robertson, he's going to go for goal. Well, the idea was right, try and find some space. Scott Robertson with 3 goals this term. Fancied his chances.
Quite right to have a strike. Good play from Swanky, cuts inside, rolls it to him, opens it out his feet. That's a decent strike, just can't keep it down.
You're looking, he certainly wouldn't want to bring himself on. He's just named himself as one of the subs. Derek Lyle, Bob Davidson, and on the bench.
Wouldn't even think about it. You need a goal, you don't bring Alec Rayer.
In terms of, he's only played once this season as well. I don't think he was particularly wanting to name himself on the bench, but Bob Davidson, a player that you know a little bit about as well. He's capable.
Yeah, he is. He's tidy, quick, sharp. I'm sure they might introduce him at some point.
Here comes McDonald, will they need him? There's Dakan out wide. Dundee, a renewed sense of impetus and urgency. McHale plays it in, turned away. Kennedy that time. And a long ball into the box. Palaniuk trying to get away, but he was holding on to his man, trying to turn the corner. And the free kick awarded by Ian Brines.
Well, Ian Brines has given him a lot of fouls tonight, so you know he did foul there. He's got a grip of Gary Caldwell, and you know if you get them and you foul, you've got to expect to give them against you.
McDonald holds up well. Hunted down that time by Palaniuk. Former Bannock Ostrava player just catching him. Scott McDonald, well, Gordon Strachan said it several times, he's been a revelation since coming here. And Anthony Melbourne was impressed. Snow. On to McManus. Under 50 minutes to go. The CIS Insurance Cup third round tie from Dens Park, Dundee. And the home side very much back in this game. Donati, beautifully done. Strokes it forward, left footed, onto McDonald. Pushed in field, Brown waits for it. Brown back to Snow, across to Caldwell. Good play again from Celtic, it's ominous. Caldwell plays it across and Sampson comes out. It was a nice piece of skill to start the move from Massimo Donati, perhaps not seen enough of him from a Celtic point of view, Billy.
Yeah, he's had flashes, just sitting in there, but not enough. But you know, he has got ability, and you see it there. Lovely little flick, just plays it out, and needs to do a little bit more. But you know, they've got a lot of numbers in the midfield, Dundee.
Brown played it through, McDonald went in, but the offside flag was easily up. Scott McDonald just going too early, according to the assistant.
I think he's onside again. You know, he's right on line. You've got to give the striker the advantage. Just a little bit early with the flag.
So Craig Sampson, with several players in this Dundee team to have played across the road. Tannadice, Daquan driving in, past Naylor, blocks him down. After Boric held up, just then. After Boric, it changes a few words to the crowd behind him. He may well be just best just to calm down Boric and concentrate what's ahead of him.
Never mind calm down, just concentrate. You know, he's cost a goal tonight again. He's gone through a rough time. A few great saves, but just got to keep concentrating. But shows you what a confident keeper he is.
John Kennedy is it forward onto Scott Brown. He's touching Brown. Donati just to move right. Donati taking on Dixon. Dixon down to tackle well.
Better from Donati. You know, we know him sitting midfielder, spraying passes about, but very effective there going forward on the right hand side. A good tackle again by Dixon.
Rardon comes out to take the corner. Celtic's fourth of the second half. Under a dozen minutes to play. Rardon in. Back to cross by Vinegar to Hesselink. Rardon lashed it towards goal. Craig Sampson happy with the handling.
Great technique by Rardon, but you know, expecting a lot of his strikers to get across there and get ahead on that.
Pinged the long ball forward. Naylor dealt with it well. Boric down the middle. Brown sends it for the fullback. Taken in his stride by Naylor. Just took Scott Robertson right out of the game there. Donati wanted too long, and McDonald was in. Here comes Swanky, tries to get away from Snow. That's a free kick. Evander Snow again complains to the referee.
It's Snow again. You know what the referee is going to give. It's a little soft one again. It is an obstruction. It is a free kick to Dundee, but referee Briggs was always going to blow for that one.
Yeah, no choice. Gavin Swanky. Again, it's his territory, his distance. He has tested Arthur Boric already this evening. Swanky goes deep. Zemlik tries to get there. Was pushing going on at the back post. And a rather tame end to the move.
He's a handful, isn't he? Either gets fouled, gives away fouls, but he's always there. He's always getting his head on things, always making it difficult. He's produced tonight.
Good header though by John Kennedy, despite being fouled. Boric away, then a good Hesselink, loses out to McKenzie. McDonald brings it down, touch on to Daquan. Up to the cross, Zemlik up to the cross, but Naylor will be there. And he will close down Arthur Boric. Danny McKenzie stood strong, only as far as Donati. Donati just tried to flash it across onto Snow. Under 10 minutes to play. Indeed, forward it goes. Zemlik knocks it down. Picking up there was McDonald across to Paul McHale, the former Clyde player who missed the Scottish Cup win against Celtic. Knocked it forward. Comes down to Robertson again. Takes on Brown, pushes it out wide. Here's Swanky, little ball back in. Lane almost in there. He lent in, Kevin McDonald slid in there. Just couldn't get on the end of it.
It's great play from Dundee. There's the ball out to Swanky, good cross in. McDonald busting in there, trying to get on the end of it, just misses it.
Just leaning in, just not enough. A throw in, oh that's missed by two, all the way through. Arthur Boric. Well, he is causing problems at inches away there, composing Celtic more. Dundee are going to make a change. Gets across. May well be the time to take off Paul McHale as the sitting midfield player and go for broke. Will Celtic win a free kick?
Yeah, it's that time to go for it, Paul. 9 or so minutes to go. Get on another striker. Get some more bodies in the box, and you never know what might happen.
No replays in the CIS Insurance Cup. Should Dundee draw level, there's extra time, and then the possibility of penalties. Brown. She's it out wide. Dixon ahead of Caldwell. And Gordon Strachan sent out. A pretty good looking team. Strong side. And the reason why is Dundee are always going to cause them problems. Paul McHale, it's an unglamorous role he played tonight, Billy, but he played it well.
Yeah, he did. He sat in front of his back four, broke everything up, and that leaves Robertson and McDonald. And they've performed tonight. That's down to a lot to Paul McHale, but it's time to gamble now, and Dundee going to do that.
So Bob Davidson joins the fray, Dundee's top goal scorer. It's just over 7 minutes to find a goal for his side. Gary Caldwell for Celtic, who are keen to kill the tie off. Dixon away. McDonald heads it on. First touch for Davidson. Will come if the ball gets played through across. Eventually it is done so. Davidson picks up from Barnett. They want him in the action. He's very lively. He's good on the ground.
Right away involved, just peeling in into the left-hand channel. Gets a throw in, and you know Dundee can deliver them.
Dixon again with a long throw. Maybe out the box this time. For McDonald. And Gary Caldwell. Yahoo. Turned back again by Griffin. Knocked on. Now Gary McKenzie had stayed forward and wanted to flick it on. He's crossing himself.
I think he's crossed, nobody was talking to him. Maybe thought about bringing that one down, and he just flicks it on straight through to Border.
Drives the ball forward. McDonald. A little bit frustrated that time, Scott McDonald. Craig Sampson. Zemlik goes down under the challenge.
Again, the two of them battling for it. The arm comes out, goes down, gets a free kick. Done that all night. It's a good play again.
Oh, he's okay. He's shaking head, and into the box he goes. Gavin Swanky. Nobody else for Dundee will deliver. Strokes it forward. Back defending. Here comes Daquan. Trying to get away from Rardon on that far side. Daquan, and you've got a Hesselink going in to help. Donald goes in there too. It's a throw to Celtic.
Just shows you though. Jan Vennegoor Hesselink back there defending. Minutes to go. You want them up the other end of the pitch, but it shows you the pressure that Dundee are putting on.
Get what he wanted on the ball. Vennegoor Hesselink is robbed. Daquan picks up. Celtic a little slow that time. Daquan driving on up against Naylor. Daquan, Snow comes out to help. He's got no help in dark blue. Daquan though gets the break of the ball, knocks it across. Well, he tried to link up with Davidson.
Rusty's cross. Does brilliantly, sneaks away from Naylor. And if he just keeps going, you know, he probably drives another 10 yards and can pick out a Dundee player, but he just rushes it.
The team have won this competition 3 times, Dundee, against the team who've won it 13 times. Ball knocked away in the box. And a shout from the Dundee fans for a penalty. Scanning McKenzie went down. Not a hope, it's the simple answer. Dixon drives it forward too long. Dundee waiting for the chance they think is going to come their way.
They've given everything. You know, they've never given up. Most teams going down 2-0 to Celtic would just throw in the towels. Dundee have certainly not done that.
McKenzie yells for his partner to take it. He does. Get in away by Palnick. Snow puts Naylor under some pressure. Davidson goes in. That's all Lee Naylor can do. And he looks up and says, well, thanks for that. And Gordon Strachan had many happy times here at Dens. This at the moment isn't one of them. Well, he'll be happy enough should Celtic progress to the quarter-finals. So infield. Taken down by Robertson. On to Dixon. Dixon forward. There's just no time for Zemlak. Well, he has given everything. And Alpha Boric eventually picks the ball up. But maybe just a waste a bit of time.
Yeah, 4 minutes to go, just taking his time, showing his experience here, trying to just see out this match.
Benegura Hessling turns it infield onto McDonald. Across wide onto Derek Rarden. Rarden up against Griffin. Rarden goes for the byline. Cuts the ball across McDonald, who's offside. Wouldn't have counted. Just a little bit tight.
Yeah, it's good play from Rarden. He's on again. There's times he's run, but he just can't get enough on it to get it in the net. But a couple of dodgy decisions by the assistant referee.
Not helped Celtic so far. Celtic through Derek Rarden, flitting in and out of the match. Rarden plays it forward to Scott McDonald again. Celtic looking for a clinching goal. McDonald pushes the ball back. Wheeler tries to deliver. Benegura Hessling is waiting, initially blocked. Snow goes in. He goes down as the ball gets knocked high over the bar.
Terrific delivery from Naylor. Benegura getting into the back post, knocks it down, but again Snow rushes the shot and blasts it over. Chance to kill off the tie there.
2 minutes to play. Certainly be a couple of minutes of added time. And this is last met in this competition. There was a goal in the 90th minute to settle the tie. Will there be a goal late to get Dundee back into it? Davidson turns, flicks it across. Swanky's waiting for it. Gary Caldwell knocks it out of play. Caldwell says he was being pushed in the back. The referee has no sympathy for the claim. Dundee have corner number 7.
Swanky was certainly putting them under pressure, but Caldwell deals with it well. He had to, and looks as if there was a little nudge, but not enough to give the free kick.
So our 7th corner of the second half. Paul Dixon comes forward. Celtic, everybody back. Backman delivers. It was absolutely dreadful. Cometh the hour, the man didn't.
If you're a manager and you do that, there's 2 minutes to go. Everybody's in the box. It's a cup tie. You just want a decent delivery, and he hits the side net, and I'm sure Alec Ray going crazy over there.
One of the ties last night, all the way to extra time. The match at Tynecastle. And he would settle for that right now. They're going to get the opportunity to play it forward. Free kick conceded by Benegura Hessling. Craig Sampson comes to step forward. Dundee searching for the equaliser. They look down and out, and the goal from Kevin McDonald brought them right back into it. Sampson fires it forward. Balnick trying to win the header, drops back. Neatly done by Robertson. Dixon plays it forward. John tries to knock it on. He's done so. Ball brought down. Comes back to him from Davidson. Plays it across. Dundee just can't get the ball away. There's a shout for handball. Played forward by Balnick. Just seemed to come against the Celtic players. And now Celtic move forward quickly. McDonald. Brown outside him. Brown. Is Caldwell outside him? Gary Caldwell knocks it across to finish it. Ball comes back again to Brown. It was good play at the back post. Knocked on. Celtic trying to score. Snow thwarted there by the goalkeeper Craig Sampson. Action at both ends. And it's terrific cup time.
One end to the other. Great counter-attack football from Celtic. Caldwell brilliant down the right hand side again. Comes out, shot in at goal. It's good defending. Just blocks it. Sends out for a corner.
Was this a penalty?
Nah, no chance. He's straight onto his chest. Referee's got plenty of time to see that.
Celtic running down time. We're in the stoppage time now. Snow plays it across to Donati. Come back by McManus. Now driven forward. Benegura Hessling drops the ball down onto Brown. Push forward. Works the 1-2. Curler with the left foot. Scott Brown sends it wide. A winner last season with Hibs. He is close to the quarter-final stage with his new club Celtic. But it has been a good night.
Yeah, it has. I've really enjoyed it. Scott Brown there played his part tonight. I love the way he comes in. in the field and plays 1-2s off strikers, gets a shot away, can't keep it down.
An easy free kick for the referee to give that time. Zemlik just pushing into McManus, who may have handled the ball. And the referee has decided that that is it. He is sending off Jan Zemlik. Well, he yellow carded him, and it's 2 yellows, mate, red. Well, referee O'Brien's took a dim view of the challenge, and then the reaction. What a night it was for Jan Zemlik, but it's ended in tragedy for him. He is sent off for a second booking in the dying seconds.
Yeah, it's a little shove. He's given it for persistent foul. That is harsh. In the last minute of this cup tie, you know, he has been booked. It is the rules, but a little bit of common sense here required from referee Brines.
Well, the dissent, Ian Brines would say, was enough. John Underhill just explaining that. Alec Ray basically saying it wasn't a free kick in the first place. Well, Ian Brines decided that merited a second card. And Dundee with 10 men play the ball forward onto Bob Davidson and knocked away. It's never been dull at Dens Park this evening. And the full-time whistle goes. Jan Venegura Hesselink with the goal in the second half for Celtic to make it 2-0. As Gordon Strachan makes his way for a handshake with his opposite number. Appreciation all round for a good match here at Dens Park. Jan Venegura Hesselink was key. It was a cool finish from 12 yards out. A handshake for the officials, and since Dundee won this competition back in 1973, Celtic have now won all 6 meetings between the sides. It certainly was close, thanks to Kevin MacDonald scoring with 18 minutes to go, and the 18-year-old wanders off. You've not seen the last of him. He has the talent and the tools to go all the way in the game, but it was the more experienced Jan Venegura Hesselink whose goal was on the winning side this evening. The Dundee fans happy with their performance, and if they can take that into the league, home at Morton on Saturday, then the big one away against Hamilton. Artur Boric holds on to his gloves this evening, although his performance, some great shot stopping, a little bit erratic and a bit juggly in the air. Artur Boric will be relieved too that Celtic are through to the quarter-finals. Handshakes from the former Dundee player to the Dundee class of 2007. Terrific cup tie at Dens Park, but Celtic progressed to the quarter-final. They finished Dundee 1, Celtic 2.
It was an absolutely cracking cup tie. We thoroughly enjoyed that in the studio. I'm sure you did as well. And a cup tie which genuinely, Pat, could have gone either way.
Well, absolutely. Particularly that second half, lots and lots of chances both sides. Celtic, particularly at the end of the game, they are getting 3 or 4 other ones. But watching Gordon Strachan at the end of that game, going up to the Dundee players and shaking every one of their hands, I think he was very impressed with Dundee today. And I think we were all very impressed with them. If they can keep that up, just as we were saying in the commentary, what a season they could have. And a lot of exciting young players, and maybe particularly MacDonald more than anyone else. But they can walk off happy tonight. Good
it's interesting, isn't it, Craig? Because in both the Scottish Cup and the CIS Cup last couple of years, we've seen lower division clubs, mainly first division clubs, really acquitting themselves well against Premier opposition.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, what differentiates Dundee a little bit from other clubs is that they're doing it with a lot of their own young players, and that impresses me. They've got a decent bunch of young kids coming through at the same time, and they'll be walking off the pitch and they'll be very disappointed that they lost the match, but they put in a very, very good performance. Yeah.
Having said all that, and they did do terrifically well, but Celtic have a penalty saved, they missed a couple of really good chances near the end. It could have been a more convincing win. So
well, that is true, but I think what tends to happen when you have a smaller team playing a bigger team, that you forget about the chances the favourites have and concentrate on the ones that the underdogs have. So but Dundee, there's 4 decent chances in the first half and another 2 or 3 in the second half. Not many teams get that amount of efforts on goal against Celtic.
Yeah, terrific cup tie. Let's take a look back at some of the many highlights of the 90 minutes at Dens tonight from the first half. Now, Alec Ray was furious that the free kick was given for that challenge by Paul Dixon and Scott McDonald. It led to this excellent free kick from Riordan and goal from Scott McDonald. Was it a foul, Pat?
Yeah, you can give those ones, but it's a harsh one. But yeah, you can give those ones. There's no doubt the player actually was holding on. He had control of the ball, so I can understand him being angry, but it certainly livened up the game because that was a good goal by McDonald, but Dundee, they came right back into it. Started creating. We said in the first half most of it was from dead ball situations and throw-ins and free kicks, but you've got to have the quality there as well. You see Boric there coming out, and he's not been able to be commanding enough because there's so many players in front of him.
And I mean, he makes a fantastic save there. We spoke about that at half time. But again, the quality of ball in the box, the amount of Dundee players who were in the middle of the goals there attempting to score, and he gets across. He's got great spring in his legs and pushes that one away.
Yeah, I mean, his shot stopping, you cannot say anything against it. It's superb. Dundee players have put it on target in the corners. You're testing the keeper all night long, and from shots he's as good as you get. It's as good as there is around just now. But at the first half, at the end of that half, it would have ended up 1-1 or 2-1 even Dundee. You couldn't really have argued from Dundee's point of view, but Celtic came out in the second half and felt as if they could go and control it, but I don't think they did.
They were never comfortable, Dougie. I would say they were never, even when they went 2-0 in front, I didn't think Celtic were ever comfortable.
No. Second half, in fact, was a classic cup tie, because it really was, in the words of the old cliche, it was end-to-end stuff and hugely entertaining.
Yeah, it's a bit disappointing in the defending here. I mean, Radon's beyond him. We were talking about Radon at half-time there. He's got in the right position. That's a light penalty, but he's got in front of the defender. He's earned the right to get the space. The defender has to back off. Really.
Yeah, I think that Danny maybe should have just put his hands up and said, look, he's beat me. He wasn't in a terribly dangerous position, but anyway, the penalty's given, and I think Derek will be a little bit disappointed that...
Well, if you stop in the run-up, you don't get the power. Know that from experience myself. They didn't stop in the run-up for that one. What a save that was. From the different angles we see it, it just gets better, particularly this angle.
He can't see Park, and he can't see a thing. That's a great save.
I mean, that's milliseconds worth of reaction time.
Wonderful reaction save, wasn't it? And then the goal which put Celtic 2-0 in front.
That is a super Caldwell ball, isn't it?
Yeah, reverse pass, and you can see by Dundee players' reactions, they don't know he's there. And for Gary to spot him was a great bit of skill, great bit of awareness. And this is very unselfish, because I know a lot of strikers who would have had a pop at goal themselves there. And a difficult ball to take for Vinegar Hesselink, because the ball bounces just before him, but he does what generally brings rewards. You hit the ball into the ground rather than skying it.
Yeah, you know a lot of strikers, I don't know many who wouldn't have gone for it there, but this is just one of the chances at the end. I think that Celtic had, obviously Dundee had pushed on a bit, they brought the extra man up front, and Celtic were going to break away and make a few chances, and that was the game plan, but I think it would have been slightly unfair of Dundee if they'd have lost another goal then, because I think they'd acquit themselves so well.
Yeah, indeed, but having gone 2-0 down, as Craig says, you never actually felt, well, that's it, Celtic have got this one in the bag. Dundee battled away and played a lot of good football along the way.
And they still had that threat from set pieces, corners. The other wasn't quite as good in the second half, I didn't think, but the long throws were causing problems for Celtic's defence, and I think Arthur Boric at times wasn't sure whether to come out for it or to stay, or there's such a number
the other
of
one was
players.
the fact that Kevin McDonald just kept on getting up there, didn't he? I mean, constantly all the way through, he just kept on getting up there all the time, and it was very, very impressive. But you need to score the goals, and the other McDonald was the one that scored the important goal with a head early on.
Yeah, all right. Well, let's hear from the man that got that opening goal for Celtic tonight, Scott McDonald. He's talking to Sheridan.
Scott, well played. Congratulations on your goal, but a tough match for Celtic tonight, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a scrappy affair, I thought. Didn't help with, obviously, the referee blowing his whistle every 2 seconds, I thought. But all in all, it was a good, hard battle, and we got away with a win, and that's what matters in these games.
Sounds like you think the referee was overly fussy tonight?
Oh, well, tiny bit. I mean, it was, stop, start, and I think that helped them. We couldn't get really flowing and get the passes moving, but full credit to them. They used their strengths, and that caused us a lot of problems, and they'll probably feel hard done by that they didn't get a goal before they did.
Very satisfying evening for yourself, an excellent goal and an assist as well.
Yeah, I've been a bit frustrated not getting on the score sheet the last couple of weeks, so it was always nice, and especially with the header. You see so many big guys in there. I don't think anyone really expects you. You can just hide about and pick your spot. So no, it was nice from that point of view. But something that I'm really trying to work on my game is picking the pass, and I think that's important, especially when you play at this level. With big players and in big games, you need to make the right decisions. So it's something that I'm trying to improve in all the time, and I'm just delighted I picked him out, and it was a great finish by Ian.
Yeah, and it takes a while for someone to settle into a team like Celtic, doesn't it? You feel you're really finding your feet just now?
Oh yeah, I'm enjoying every minute of it though. Who wouldn't? It's fantastic to play with some of the players we've got here. And great management and great staff. So I'm enjoying every minute of it, and hopefully I can get more goals and be successful.
Well played tonight. Thanks for your time.
Cheers. Thanks.
Never fails to amaze me how players who have played in games see it completely different from those of us watching on the outside. Scrappy and stop-start. I didn't see it that way, Craig, did you?
Well, I think that he never really got supplied with the passes that he would have wanted and the opportunities that he would have wanted tonight. So from his point of view, it was scrappy. He doesn't care if Dundee had a dozen chances or not, but he felt that Celtic never really flowed tonight, mainly down to Dundee closing them down very quickly.
And putting them under pressure everywhere, particularly after Boric. I mean, I loved the way they constantly put him under pressure. If you're going to put, if you know keepers had a difficult week, you want to make sure. I mean, that's no power. We've seen how fantastic he was with his shot stopping, but you need to come out there and be commanding. Now, I'm not convinced this is all Artur Boric's fault, because look at the players. That's a foul against him for a kick-off, but they know that that's their strength. And Scott McDonald just mentioned it there. But he has to be a lot more commanding than that. But it's difficult when you've got giants up against you. And it was very deserving, the player who followed in and scored it.
The other thing is it's a decision sometimes as well whether to come out or not. Celtic have got quite a lot of players there, and it might be that he can let them handle it and then pick up the pieces. But he makes a decision to come on, and I think it's difficult when there is as many bodies round about as that for him to get, because all he needs is a nudge for him not to get a clean punch.
I think he'll complain that the referee was not protecting him as much as he had to, but if you get there, you make the decision, you've got to go, you need height, you need distance, and 3 or 4 times tonight he didn't. However, his shot stopping, superb.
It was outstanding. Well, let's get the Dundee reaction to tonight's tie then. Alec Ray and Kevin McDonald with Kerridon.
Alec, you're out of the cup, but I'm imagining you'll be feeling very hard done by.
I think the boys were fantastic tonight. They gave us everything, and unfortunately after Boric is back on form tonight, but no, I'm very proud of them.
Yes, I mean in terms of the chances that you created, I guess you couldn't have asked too much more from you guys.
No, the thing is we had the woodwork twice, and Boric has put a couple of great saves off our players, so no, overall I'm delighted. It's just a matter of getting them dusted down and try and get prepared for the weekend.
Yes, and the chap next to you scoring a goal and another excellent performance, Ken McDonald.
I've said all along he's an amazing talent, and we're glad to have him here.
Kevin, let's bring you in. Congratulations on your goal. Celtic tried to sign you. We could see why tonight, I think.
I've just been trying to play my football at Dundee. That's what I'm concentrating on just now. Just getting my head down and playing, going for promotion, so we'll wait and see.
When you saw Artur Boric making all those saves, did you think it's just not going to be Dundee's night?
It's always going to be hard to score against a player like him, but we just kept on plugging away at it the whole game. We ended up got a goal at the end. Fair enough, we were 2-0 down, but still a goal.
If you put in more performances like that, this man, your manager's going to have a hard time keeping hold of you.
I'm not bothered about that. I'm just focusing on playing with Dundee just now. That's what I'm here to do. So just hopefully keep my performances up.
Yeah, and I guess Alec, that's exactly what you want. Performances like that every week, and Dundee will have a real chance of getting into the Premier League, where I know you want to play your football.
Absolutely. You had maybe 9,000 or 10,000 supporters here. The atmosphere was great, and I've said to the players, this is where you want to be. You want to be playing against the best, and Celtic are up there with the best.
Gents, thanks for your time, appreciate it.
Pleasure,
yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, Dundee won a lot of friends tonight. Didn't win the match, sadly, from their point of view. But the key now, of course, Craig, is to carry on that form on a consistent basis in the First Division.
Yeah, I'm just looking. I wonder if Alec's shrinking, actually.
That's the worry of management, isn't it?
Man, isn't he?
Yeah, he's some size of a boy, isn't he, McDonald?
He's got just about everything that has to be said, so let's hope he keeps on improving.
Yeah, the league will be important for Dundee, really important. Second place just now, I believe. Second place, yeah. So
second at the moment behind Hamilton.
And what you see tonight, I think if they can keep their main players fit and available, then I think they've got a chance.
Yeah, but we all know how competitive that First Division is. Right, let's hear from the Celtic manager, Gordon Strachan.
Gordon, congratulations into the quarter-finals of the CIS Cup. Happy, satisfied?
All happy, yeah. Another cracking game. Great game on Sunday, great game tonight. We'll need to learn how to blow the pants off people and just win 1-0, because this is not good for football at all. It's not good for your telly, not good for the live game on Sunday, because it's actually very exciting. I think what we should do is get some more defenders and make it 1-0 now and then.
It was a terrific game. I think anyone that was watching that got full value. Incidents, chances at either end, good goals. What did you make of it all?
You had everything. We were comfortable until we started giving away free kicks, and then the penalty, because they had great delivery of the ball, and we had to work hard to clear it. If we didn't clear it, Arthur pulled out a good save, and we scored for a free kick, and they scored from, I think, a throw-in. Arthur, somebody bumped into Arthur, and we had a couple of chances to kill it with the penalty and things like that before it, but we didn't do it. And because of that, and because of the spirit of Dundee, they kept in it. You know, at 2-0 it's not a good result, because you know fine well 1 goal and the crowd were up for it. I thought the crowd were excellent. So a good night had by all. It's just unfortunate one of my team I started out with don't qualify for the next round, because they would have been, when they get to the next round, Dundee would have been worthy opponents for anybody.
You mentioned your goalkeeper there a couple of times, 3 terrific saves. What do you make of his contribution, his performance this evening?
I think I had 2, maybe 2. I don't. Him, it's that was the other one. I think the one you're talking about was quite easy. Saying that, there had a fantastic save in the first couple of minutes for Deke. So he did well, considering a lot of pressure on him. But he's a huge personality, and nothing bothers him.
Your strikers did well as well. Scott McDonald, excellent goal and an assist as well. He's really coming on to the game for you.
I thought they took some knocks tonight. They took some knocks, and just far too honest. Big Yang got whacked there, and he just kind of hobbled on. We thought we were going to get a foul for that, but no, he's done well. Jan took a bit of batting on Sunday as well, but they've stood up to it. And again, it's a terrific game again. That's 2 terrific games in the top. Matter of fact, we've been involved in quite a few good games this year. Absolutely fantastic.
Well, we hope to see more fantastic games involving Celtic on the television on BBC.
That's what you should do. Come along and see us. Yeah, we're not very defensive minded, but we're good fun to watch.
Gordon, thank you for your time.
Thank you. Bye.
Appreciate it.
I think Gordon quite enjoyed that tonight. He certainly enjoyed the result. 2-1 Celtic, and they go through into tomorrow's draw for the last 8. Right, let's get a round-up now of the other matches played tonight in this CIS Cup, beginning with a remarkable match at Easter Road. Hibs against Motherwell, Brian McLaughlin.
It finished Hibs 2, Motherwell 4. The cup holders crash out of the tournament after being torn apart by a rampant Motherwell side. And Mark McGee's side's victory all the more impressive after going behind to a Clayton Donaldson strike after 10 minutes. A rejuvenated David Clarkson then equalised for Motherwell before Keith Lasley volleyed home a McGarry cross to put the Steelmen in front. Then in 24 minutes, a piece of what can only be described as sheer magic from Ross McCormick, 25 yards out and sending a right foot chip over the outstretched frame of the Hibs goalkeeper Yves Makalambi. Easter Road boss John Collins introduced the